The Vietnam War was one of the most challenging and controversial conflicts in American history, profoundly affecting the lives of the soldiers who served. The experiences of American soldiers in Vietnam were characterized by constant tension, fear, and confusion as they navigated an unfamiliar and hostile environment. Forced to endure grueling conditions, many troops struggled with the virtually impenetrable jungles, the stifling heat, and the omnipresent threat of ambushes by the North Vietnamese militia and the Viet Cong. The dense foliage and unfamiliar terrain posed significant challenges, often disorienting soldiers and complicating military operations. In addition to these environmental challenges, American soldiers faced psychological and emotional stressors. The unpredictability of the guerrilla warfare employed by their adversaries meant that soldiers were often in a state of perpetual alertness. The anxiety was further exacerbated by the moral ambiguities of the war and the lack of clear objectives, which led to a cognitive dissonance for many servicemen who questioned the rationale behind their mission. The living conditions in Vietnam were grueling and often compounded these stressors. Soldiers typically lived in makeshift camps with limited supplies, spending weeks or months at a time in the field without adequate sleep or rest. The constant noise of artillery and the knowledge of potential sniper threats wore heavily on the nerves, leading many soldiers to succumb to stress-related disorders. The harsh realities of warfare fostered a strong sense of camaraderie among soldiers, who relied on one another for emotional and physical support. Unit cohesion became a critical aspect of survival, yet the constant turnover of personnel due to casualties continuously disrupted these bonds, affecting morale and further deepening the psychological impact of the war. For many soldiers, the return home proved to be another battle. Unlike previous wars, Vietnam vets returned to a divided nation where many faced hostility or indifference rather than the hero's welcome they might have expected. The transition from the adrenaline-fueled environment of the jungle to civilian life, compounded by untreated psychological trauma such as PTSD, resulted in a difficult reintegration process for many veterans. Overall, the experiences of American soldiers in Vietnam reveal the multifaceted challenges they faced, highlighting the intersection of physical combat, psychological strain, and the societal implications of warfare.